All right, how's everybody doing? We are gonna work on the 356 today. I'll show you what we're up against. When we picked up the car, this part of the nose, which was not completely welded or assembled yet, got smashed into the fence that was there. If you look right here, this hood now overlaps the nose. There's no gap, and there's huge gaps on the outsides of the fenders. So what I'm hoping to do is get it chained into place, hook it up to this machine, which isn't super important. That could just be a come along would probably do it. I think this is pretty flimsy right now. And I'm hoping to make shape and get the hood to fit properly. This car kind of came to us in a bag of tricks and a bag of marbles. So I'm trying to do my best to figure it out. You can see here, the work isn't over because these panels don't even jive, like the body lines don't jive. I think the fabrication of this fender was done at a different place than the nose. The spacing's different, so there's going to be a lot of cutting and welding to make that work. Same with here, the transitions aren't that good. So we're going to get started by chaining it down. So it stays in one place while I give it a small pull. Okay, first little bit is we need to anchor it to something. So if you look here, I'm going to try to get where the impact seems the worst. This looks like got it really bad right through here. And it seems like right there where my thumb is, it's the worst. Okay, it's got enough grip. So probably the first foot of this will be everything coming in, sort of releasing tension. It looks like we're starting to pull it. There's a high spot here. Now I'm just going to relieve that high spot. You may be thinking, why am I hitting here when we're trying to relieve this? Well, there was an obvious kink, so maybe as it pushed in, it sort of folded it here. I don't feel any on this side yet. So we've made some progress because we can see these fenders kind of coming into play. We're still missing about 6 inches here. And I can see there was another dent from the fence right here. So I'm probably going to break this off and weld it here and see what it does. I'm almost thinking, yeah, I'm just going to pull it straight at the right height and see what that does. And one thing I'm trying to do here, I may have to release them too. These are overlapped by about 3 inches. So I'm trying to weld to the piece I'm going to cut off just to keep things a little nicer. I'll quit. Yeah, you can see it's kind of pulling funny, and you can see that it's actually doing its job here. We're getting there. So I'll release that. In passing, this is a super interesting tool that I use lots. It's a, of course, a little cutoff wheel, but it goes clockwise and counterclockwise. So that allows you, when you're in a tight spot, to be able to spray the sparks away from yourself. I do think there's some value to that a lot of times when you're working in areas like we were working yesterday, and maybe even today. Okay, so I'm going to cut this thing off.
Do you want some glasses?
I'm not saying about this thing being able to spray sparks the other way. Mm-hmm. That would have been good in this second go.
So now you're going to weld it up top?
Yeah, I'm going to weld it here now because I can see the mark from the fence.
Right.
Hoping that. A lot of times in the body shop industry, what you're trying to do is undo the damage. So if you go to the source of the damage, that's usually a pretty good place to start. Just trying to decipher whether this needs to be pulled up or just out. I'll pull it out for a second. If it starts to create a dent here, I'll quit. Yeah, you can see it's kind of pulling funny, but you can see that it's actually doing its job here. We're getting there. So I'll release that. We're getting somewhere. I think maybe what it needs is a pull this way and much closer.
What you thinking?
Well, I'm just trying to consider what's got to happen here. It's the more it pulls up, the more it changes
the shape.
This corner here. So this comes up, but then the hood's in a different spot. Here, I'll show you. I don't want to waste my time pulling up. This is coming up at the same time as this. And we'll get it to a point where they're not going to match anymore. I'm almost thinking I'll cut this apart Because we were making the assumption they had it close before we smashed it into the fence. Maybe they didn't have it close at all. So I think I'm going to cut them apart here. And if I can relieve them, then the nose will come forward.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You see the big gap here? You can actually see that the gap is fairly even at this section of the hood, and then it gets big through here. I want to kind of pull them together. Let's see if it gets. There's the what, now I need to figure out the how. Now I'll walk you through my thoughts here. I really want this lip to come, right? So if I pull on this pinch weld at the very bottom, I think it'll flatten out all the metal. And I'm hoping that just going to the first 90, I'm gonna be able to get a lot of movement before I flatten out this 90. If that doesn't happen, I'll have to go to the very top one super carefully and pull from there. Because what we're trying to do is get hood fitment. We'll work on getting a gasket to seal after we've got the hood fitting right. So, this thing's a mile too long. First here. Knowing we have to come 1/4 of an inch 5 or 6 millimeters. We'll go weld to weld and call it. Do you see it moving here?
Yeah.
Wow. This poor little car.
Huh.
They really didn't have it.
Oop, broke your
So
weld.
we're going to leave that alone. Okay, well that came in 3/8 of an inch. Let's see what that did for hood fitment.
Oh wow.
Made some progress there for sure.
For sure.
So, I actually think we've made enough progress to leave that be for now. Start coming around the corner here and trying to figure this out. It looks like the lip is kind of bent up, and I feel as though if I can bend it down, maybe I can get this corner to come down. Right now, we're fairly good on this corner. And we've got a big gap up there, but that's so flexible that it looks like we'll be able to get that put together no problem. Yeah, it's almost too tight here now.
But if you pulled that in, would it open this up? Because it
I
pulls
don't
that?
think so, but we know we're okay because we can open it up, no problem. Because this is all split, right? We haven't gotten to the point where we fitted this. You can see the hole in this.
Yeah.
We change the shape as much as we want. It's really this one that I want to get rotated. I feel like there's too much overlap between the two.
Yeah, I agree.
It's bunching up the middle here. Okay, let's think about the next step.
It doesn't matter if you start at the top, get that to, and then work your way down?
Yeah,
No?
I've still got another panel to fit there.
Oh, okay.
Right now, look at this. This is
Yeah,
all
I know,
fucked.
it's a mess.
And this is fucked.
Yeah.
So why would I work there when really what I'm trying to do is here, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna cut them apart and just get a feel for what's going on here. Feels it though. That stuff there needs to be bent down. What I'm hoping to see is more like this. Okay? How am I going to create that? I don't know if you can see it, but I sure feel that this line is starting to look right. See here. Still got to come out a bunch more. I almost feel now that the distance is right, and to close up these two corners, we're going to need to push it out while it's connected. I'm taking a guess at that, but that's what I'm going to try next. I often just use a drywall paddle just to align my panels so they're near perfect. Now I'm going to go back and forth with welding, grinding, welding, grinding, because these two panels, they're not fitting very well, so I want to visually see that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, it's fighting me. Okay, so you can see I put an X here, that's a high spot. These two are low spots. I'm going to try to pick these up and tap this down. I also noticed that this weld sunk this area a little bit. I would rather have it sunk a little bit than proud like a peacock, right? So if it's closer to flat or nice and curved, that's perfect. But if it's out like a peacock, then it's really kind of ugly. So we'll see if we can pick up some of these two spots here. Sure. Yeah, that settled that. Sort of my back's bad.
Do you want me to get you some water?
Water?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so we got a little low spot there. Right there. I want this to look really nice, so I'm going to pick it up. Yeah, it won't take much to give it a little tweak. Okay, you can see how this is starting to come together. The overlap is gone. This is quite smooth. We've picked up a couple spots that got dented along the way, not from our work, but from sitting around. Now we're trying to work our way very carefully down here, because of course the front of the car is what you always look at. So, yeah, I think that needs to come up just a millimeter or half a millimeter, so I'm going to give it a bit of a pull. Notice how it really helps me align the bottom too. So I may just leave that in place for now. I'll grind this a little bit. Grinding can also warp your welds or warp your panels, so you'll notice I'll grind and then I'll cool. That's really a good sign, makes me happy. Okay, so some more cutting, another inch of weld, and we'll work our way down through the bottom here. Well, I'll tell you, that looks near perfect. Really happy with that. See how the curvature is just the way it should be?
Looks amazing.
Yeah. Some 80 grit for me.
Okay.
All right, so that is the end of my weekend. If you look, if you remember, this was totally screwed up. The gaps along the sides were nowhere to be found. The front end needed welding. Now the front end is all one piece. The gaps are just a little bit large. I like them large at this point in the process because we still have some more fitment to do on the fenders. We'll go back to them and really tighten them up right before we go for filler. But I am super, super happy about that. Hopefully you learned something from all the processes. It just looks so good, the profile of it.
She's smiling.
So now, I'm gonna do something for Teresa that I always do for myself at the end of a long weekend. We're gonna do another JF Kustoms mock-up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me put this down.
Okay, hop in. So just a little bit, right? It's actually pretty. That's actually pretty cute.
Do you know that we used to do that when we were kids? We'd get in our parents' cars that were not quite finished. I always used to get in my dad's cars that weren't finished. And we'd pretend we were at the movie theater watching movies.
Well, there we go. You can see we did some pretty killer work right here on the fenders. They're fitted all the way through the bottom. The nose is fitted nice. Yeah, I'd say I'm very happy with that overall. It's been one of those weekends where you got to get motivated. We bought the car, and I really was disappointed about how it was put together. One weekend into it, I'm super excited. I think you're excited too,
I'm
hey?
very excited. And what's really neat though is, I honestly, the car smiles at me.
It's supposed to.
I know.
It's a happy car. Happy car. Well, we've got to fix these doors because they have no openings on the fenders. We got this cowl to deal with, windshield, all the way around back. We're going to do some shrinking and stretching. There is lots more to do. So if you want to see more of that stuff, hit the subscribe button, click like, and tell a few of your friends.
And we are going to have shirts for sale.
Real soon. Shirts are getting designed right now. So be ready for killer customs t-shirts.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Those are a couple good shots of it. Fuck, is that cool? Did that all of a sudden make it cool or what?
So awesome.
Mockup!